Hey everyone, did you know someone was literally holding on to the moon and the secret? I don't know who it is, but they must be important. That's all I have to say. Yeah, speaking of chemtrails, right? We're going to see an amazing video. Really happy to share this with you. Right, so this is on the surface of the moon, lights that we see. We're not going to linger here more than 5 seconds. Just wanted to show you that if they're hiding the surface of the moon, would you think they'd hide the surface of Earth? Because people are saying, well, why are they doing different things than on Earth? Well, what's different, right? You could create chemtrails from the surface. You can create chemtrails with a plane to cause precipitation to fall. And then you could add a concoction in there and, theories come up, whatever. I'm not going to get into it. You guys know. The poisoning us or not, I don't have the proof of that. But we can see and analyze the clouds that these planes do cause, you know, to create. They create themselves. You spray a chemtrail and then the cloud widens out in a ridiculously very fast way, of course, depending on the wind speed and stuff. They talk about dry ice inside of the plains and salts and ammonium oxide, anyways, aluminum oxide, a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm not going to get into because, again, I don't have the proof. But they are definitely spraying like crazy here. We're going to see a real quick cloud that was in the front of the house. And of course, this was a cloud that formed after the chemtrail plane went by and left the chemtrail. Not very windy, so I had the chance to look at it. And you see the wind's bringing up the cloud there. But notice the colors inside of the cloud and the chemtrail, actually. And the clouds are just, white. They're not being reflective as much as the chemtrail is with the sun. So maybe that's what's trying to help Earth from the sun scalding us, right? What do you think? It could be. I can see some positive and negative in the chemtrails, right? If they're protecting us from the sun's UV rays, who knows? There could be something going on drastic that we have no idea about. Again, of course, theoretically. All these stories come up in our minds, right? We can think of many real easily. So often you hear the term sun dogs, and look around off to the right of the sun. The same area where I'm going to show you this incredible blue beam, Project Blue Beam. People are telling me, Bruce, Project Blue Beam, whatever it may be, it's just scary. I'll be honest with you. And that's where we're going to see the light coming up from the surface on a complete and entirely different day. Very interesting. Chemtrails are everywhere in the sky, but not all the time. And these days, very, very quiet here in Canada, where I am, anyways, just on the outskirts of Montreal, and there's not many chemtrails going by. But then again, it's raining. It's very warm here. When I say warm, I mean warm and well over 0 degrees. Listen, we're the 1st of December. The shovels have been out for for a
Do you guys
month,
see it?
and I haven't
That's
used
what
it
I'm
yet.
looking
So
at
right,
right
let's get right
there.
into it, my friends. This is the blue beam that is rising up off the surface. This is with a Nikon P900, 920 p.m. We'll also look with the infrared camera, but on the regular mode and not in infrared. So to show you all that it's really stationary and there, and again, that's where I was seeing the light at the end of the sun, right? And every time I usually do when it sets on the horizon, that's listen, where that blue light is actually where the sun and the moon always pass by on the ecliptic, but that line is there. I've seen it before in the day, but it was dark, and people were saying it's planes from the lines from the planes, and it really was not. If ever I see this again, and I'm hopeful that I will definitely film it. So now I'm going to show you a few processes, back it up, and I'm going to go left and right, and then I'm going to go up, left and right to show you it's really coming from the ground. Then I'll get back to you right after this. Now I'll show you with an inverted filter and a black and white filter, but then you'll see the lines are still there. Okay, can I see that without the infrared and just the regular light? Yes, right, or UFO? I'm outside talking to my neighbor, and a light appears in the sky. He asks me what it was, and I told him it's not a plane, and he says it's definitely not a plane, and there's no wings. And descending the exposure, again, this is daytime UFO. You'll see at the end of the video also a daytime UFO, meteor or asteroid, whatever it may be, alien spaceship. We'll see it at the end of the video. Oh, get this. Finally, something beside the sun that everyone said, Bruce, is there something beside the sun? Is there something beside the sun? This, not too long ago, only a couple months ago, I didn't notice in the footage, but we're going to go see something stationary. I always love seeing and showing the clouds going by, thus proving that whatever it may be, I'm not saying it's anything in general. It looks round because, of course, things that are far away always look round, right? But still, it does look oval. It's beside the sun. Here's the clouds going over it, and it's remaining in place. Check it out. Now listen, I'm not teasing you. I'm not showing you much, right? Like, it'd be nice to have seen it, film it longer, but I mean, I just noticed it in the footage, right? Often some of you tell me, Bruce, clouds always move over, and sometimes we see some stationary objects. It's not that rare, and of course, it just so happens that beside the sun, yep, that's one of the places where we really are going to see them first. So this is where, we'll go back to that, my friends. This is where, look beside the sun over to the right. That's exactly where I showed you the blue beam at the beginning of the video. And thanks again for the interest, because these are interesting findings. Look at the big circle beside the sun at the same time. You never know, eh? You could see something gigantic, but it could be really far out. Things are moving around in interstellar space, and they do come inside of our solar system. All scientists themselves are telling us there's that bright spot again at the end of where that light was. So it happens. Sometimes I get an enormous amount of chemtrails here. Here's one of the moments that I really appreciated. Watch how many planes suddenly went over the sun. I got a live shot of it. Check it out. Now, if you're outside very often and for long periods of time, take a look at this. This is what you'll see sometimes. And again, they are rare captures. Like people talk about, Bruce, have you ever seen a satellite during the day or an asteroid or UFO? I've showed it before, and check it out. Let's look at it with simple filters, which mean, listen, we're taking down the exposure. I've showed this for 4 years, the same green filter. I mean, I'm not hiding anything. And of course, this incredible capture during the partial eclipse a couple of years ago, a triangular object whizzing by. It was like really going to town, going by the moon and the sun. It was a partial eclipse. Everybody, all of you, Crawl Face, everyone, thank you so much for the generous help and contributions. If it wasn't for my amazing community, this channel wouldn't even exist. Thanks a whole bunch, everyone. I really appreciate it. Slow disclosure is in progress. More information will be coming. A lot more.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Oh,